All right, here we go. We got this. Here's the air tank. I got this off of Amazon as like one of these kits. If I remember, I'll find the listing and throw it up. I think it was like around 150. Came with some wire, a fuse holder here, 25 amp fuse inside. Looks like these are extra filters for this filter that goes on the inlet. Install in a dry area away from moisture. I don't know how that's going to work because I think this thing is going to be kind of out in the weather for a while. But here's the air compressor itself. I don't know, it feels like there's weight to it, so there might be an actual piston in there. Comes with some mounting bolts for this. I guess this little guy in here is probably for this hose. Okay, we have a drain for the tank. We have one of these which lets the air out, I think, for the tank. I've kind of pulled on it and I've already bent this, so I don't think this is gonna work, this little ring here. This, I don't know if this will go to 1/4 inch line. It kind of looks like it, but I don't know if I can get the air line in there for this. So I might have to find a fitting for the air line to go into this. This is the sensor for, let's see, so 120 psi on and 150 psi off. So that's what we'll do that. We get a relay. You know, this is like to hook up air tools and different air hose and stuff. Different fittings. I don't know what these are for. It came with this hose, but like this hose is not going to work. There's nothing on the tank that these will like go into. This might go into an airbag. Actually, it looks like that's an airbag fitting, like you would put that on your bag. I don't think I'm going to be able to use this hose. And then the bolts for the air tank here, some air line. I think this is the hole to screw the air line to things, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna have to get more of those though, figure out some way to hook up my air line. Maybe I can just 3D print some out of TPU. That's probably what I'll do. I'll design my own and 3D print them out of TPU. Then I can just, you know, put the air line around them and then screw them through just like this. But they'll be plastic and rubbery, so they won't rub or cause a leak or anything. So there's the setup here. There's only a positive cable, and this needs to, so I wonder, this thing doesn't ground. Oh, it has a ground on it. Okay. I was gonna say, because it's isolated with these rubber guys, right? Because it vibrates. So you mount through these, so this isn't going to ground to the trailer by itself. It's going to need a ground. So we just screw the ground to it, and then there's our hot, and then, but the thing is how does this sensor work? Or pressure transducer, right? So we just have these two. So I'm thinking we need to hook this up on the hot side. So this will turn power off to the compressor and then turn it back on at different pressures. Pressure transducer there. So there you go. So that's what came in the kit. So basically I'm going to take this air tank and find a place in here to mount it. So it's going to be hard to show, but basically this here is like a wall. And so what I'm thinking is I'm going to mount the air tank in here somewhere, like maybe something like that. Okay, so what I'm thinking is like kind of up here somewhere, put the air tank, the air compressor around in there somewhere, because down here this will be flat deck, but then we need to put the jack in here. So maybe like a floor jack over here, maybe like some tool storage, and then in the middle of that or in the front of this will be the bike trailer. And then back here is where the actual bikes will go, from here to here. And they might stick out a little more, you know. Like this might never get enclosed. I mean, the only thing that is really the issue is the filter, right? And it says it wants it in a dry place. Because you don't want this thing, it's just foam, you don't want this thing filling up with water and then sucking it through your compressor and stuff. So that's the inlet here. So how does this work? So does this just screw into that? So why does it have this? Oh, I see now. Now I see. That's what this is for. So this goes onto here. So we can move this to a dry spot and leave this out. And then that's what this tube is for. So that will be our input to here. And then this fitting here goes right there. Perfect. So what we can do, we can either put this inside the bathroom, or we can put it in a spot where the rain isn't really going to get to it, or we can put it in its own little box. It's probably what we'll do, and then that way we can keep the whole system outside. This can hang out in the rain. It should be fine. I don't see an issue with it. I mean, it kind of looks nice and shiny, but it really wasn't that much money. All right, so here's what I came up with. I just got some angle iron cut here to length, so I'll just weld this to one of these bars, and then same thing for this. Just some angle iron. I'll drill some holes in here, and I'll just bolt through this to that. And then I'll just take these. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this post here. I might just weld one here and one here for the air tank, or maybe here. Maybe one here and one here for the air tank. And then the compressor over here. I'll figure out where I'm going to put everything, but that's just the design I'm going with, and then that'll just mount that. So I'm going to eyeball these. So I'm going to just line this up to the edge here. We're just going to eyeball these holes. So that one needs to be about there. This one about here. Right? And we'll just eyeball them over to this one. Okay, here's what I ended up with. I got this angle, I got it bolted on there. You see that? So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it up here where I want it and mark it. Basically like that, and then I'll mark it and weld it there. And I'll take the compressor off. It's going to go somewhere like that, and then the air tank will go up here. Okay, so the update here, I got this little thing welded in here because I realized that if I put the tank this way, the drain would be facing that way instead of down. So this time, now what I'm going to do is weld my brackets to this right here, coming out this way, and then the drain will be facing down there, so I can drain it, drain the tank sometimes. More like that. Should be alright, right? I think it'll work. You have this bracket and this bracket for the tank, and then I just put the compressor upside down. It's still hot, so I'm not going to touch it, but the compressor will go here, and then the line will just loop around to the tank up here. So, alright, so there we go. Here's what I have. Basically, that's going to chill down there, I guess, and the input will go to wherever I decide to put it, I guess, which I might just drill a hole into there and put the air input in the bathroom. Then no less water would be able to get into it. There's the tank up here, and then I'll have the output here for the air hose connection. So I'll just be able to plumb a thing right onto the end of that, and it'll just be there, easy to go, right? Easy access, basically. If I do encase this in, I'll put a door right here to get to it, or something. I'll figure it out, or I'll just plumb it out. Maybe I'll just do that. I'll just plumb it out the wall and just have it hanging out the wall. But there it is. It's not really installed, it's just mocked up. There's no nuts or anything on it, because this is all got to come back off the paint. I'm just going to use that Teflon tape. So the one I have, this is for the airline to go to the bags. This is like one of these. I don't know if it's a pressure relief. Like if it gets too much pressure, does it push this out? I think that's what that does. And then I'm missing a piece for this. I basically need a double one of these. So they sent this in the kit, but I can't just put this right onto there. So I need a fitting one, like a double one of these to go into this and into the hole over there. I'm just gonna put the drain on and some of this other stuff, and oh wait, we need this too. I might not be able to do what I want to do. So we have to put this in there. So actually, probably not gonna be able to put this on. This might have to go somewhere else. I don't know why they send those, because it just seems like it's just not gonna work. Okay, let's put this stuff on, and then we'll do that. So since the power is over here, and we're not gonna need to access that, we'll probably put this pressure transducer or whatever it is in there. We'll put this one in here. Okay. So we know where this one goes. It's gonna go right in the bottom. Yeah, there's a little, see there's a hole down here. So we're gonna put that one in there for the drain. Which one of them needs to be the airline? Which I thought the airline was gonna be over here. So maybe, I know I want, this one's gonna go right here, because it's gonna be the hardest to get to because of this bar that I have. And I really don't think I'm ever gonna need to get to it, because I'm gonna have a dump that's gonna be, I have to make sure that that still works, but this thing is broken, so like if I pull on it, it like breaks it bends this. So I don't even know about that. I might need a new one of those or something. So do I put the airline right here? You know what I mean? It's like, I could either put the airline here, or I could put this transducer there. But I can't really, I'm gonna have to choose one of those. So I'll just show you guys one, and then it's gonna be the same process for all of these, right? So we take this. I don't know if I should put the line on this first. We don't have a little crush guy. So all we do, looks like all we do is we just put the airline over this and then put this on it, right? Put this on the airline and then like that. So I need to figure out a trick to this Teflon tape. Okay, so I just need to roll it the same way that it's gonna thread on. Got a 9/16 and a 5/8. Of course, it's probably a 14, but put this one on. This one's probably, that one's probably a half, I'm assuming. See if we can get this thing self-sufficient today. Okay, that one's pretty tight. We'll mess with it later. So this one's a 5/8. Maybe possibly a 15. Alright, so here's what I got. I got this little pressure regulator here. Came with a bracket. I don't know where I'm going to put it yet. But so I don't lose the bracket, we'll just put it on. Seems to just go over there. Like that, then that. And then I'm gonna put some tape on this thing, so we don't want any leaks. That's the thing. It's like last time I tried to do something like this, it all leaked. And I know about this tape. I know people don't like using this tape, so it might like flake off and cause a problem. But You know, my point of view is like I always try to just keep it on the threads, and then when I'm putting it in, just make sure that, try to make sure not like a chunk of it goes in the air part. You know what I mean? And then we'll put it on here and get it to be somewhat upright here. Okay, there we go. So I got it pretty tight there to be upright. So I'll push down. I push down to turn. Oh, you pull up to turn it. There's a little guy in there that turns when I turn it. Alright, so then I got these fittings. So we'll do push on fittings on this guy. It came with some stuff, so I might not have to tape this one, I don't know. It's got stuff in it. You think that means I don't have to tape it? I mean, I feel like it bottomed out, so that's not, who knows? That's probably gonna leak. Probably gonna have to take those off. We'll find out though here. Okay, so now I need a little short piece to go from here to this, and then a long piece to that Y. So I have this line from a previous bag install that I did, like helper bags on a Durango that I had once. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this line for my temporary, and then I'll use the regular line, the other line that I already had, for the permanent. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this like from here to here. It's going to cut it, and then I'll use the rest of this line to go from that T up to the thing. There's a cutter here, see, so I do have a lot of line here, and I can get more too. So let's give it a little bit more. I'll cut it like right there. And I got this cutter because you want it to be straight. If it goes in there crooked, it might leak, and it might leak anyways. You know, last time I did this, it leaked a lot, or not a lot, but like it would leak down. I would have to keep pumping them back up. There we go. You have to kind of feel it. They have to like feel it like push in, you know. Okay, so here's what I have: a Y there, or a T there, and it goes up to here. Okay. I'll just put this in here somewhere, like maybe right there, and it'll just kind of hang out there. So what we need to do is go from there to there, and from here to there. So take this cap off of here and put it onto here. Then we'll push this onto this, I guess. Is it gonna go though? You're gonna have to spit on it. Then this onto this. And that's either a half or a 7/16, I think, into this here regulator. And then I'll just put this into here, like that. Okay, so now we're temporarily plumbed, except I'll tighten this. It's a half. Okay, so I have one wire that's this long. I don't know. And then the other wire is just wire, I guess. So I guess I can just put two ends on this. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Trying to work on this trailer.
Oh yeah? How's that going?
I'm looking for jumper cables right now to try to hook up this air compressor. Oh, there they are.
You bought a second welder?
Yeah, I broke mine. I told you that.
Well, that looks really nice, man. Nice and squared away. Oh, chooch! You're about to lose that one.
I lost that one. I lost this one.
Yeah, here, I'm holding this one on still.
Here, hold hold on. Just stop it.
Well, I guess you should have asked, hey, do you want to pick up some little black screws?
Yeah, some little nuts.
Some little nuts.
There's lots of other metal.
There's one right there. And by the hammer. Oh, is that your high limit switch? Over here.
What's the transducer? Pressure transducer?
Pressure transducer. What would be really keen is if you could put this in a head thing so that my eye sees it like that. That way my head moves and I'm only looking through the camera. That way I can never mess up the shot because I always, in order to see, I have to see. Then you won't be like, what are you looking at? I'll be like, oh.
Like, I'm sure we could do that.
Like, you know, like in hell.
Pay attention to, you know, what you're doing.
Son. Well, it's got a big old drum right here, you know. More of a hum. It's not here. It sounds more like a hum, like whoa.
That's at 60. I'm leaking out of here.
I'm not sweating it all out. Right?
Look at the deflection there.
Yeah, it's just the axle.
Oh, look at this. That's moving.
Oh, here to here.
I need to tie it in still.
Yeah, here. Some triangles.
No, I'm gonna put one bar all the way.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, yeah.
At least one, maybe two.
Right.
That thick stuff too. Pressure though. So yesterday, off camera, I welded in these bars to help with that flexing, and it did a lot. It really made a huge difference. I was jumping on it and it wasn't flexing like it was, so I'm basically done with the suspension, other than plumbing and paint. So I just need to paint it and plumb it.